Standing there in City Hall, moments before the biggest commitment of my life, I heard my future mother-in-law whisper it to her son. After the signature, we go straight to her condo. While you idiots are standing here, I've already moved my stuff in. My blood ran cold, but I didn't flinch. Not yet. I waited for the officiant's question, and when I finally answered, the guests roared with laughter while the groom and his mother turned ghost white. Hello, dear listeners. I am so glad to welcome you back to my channel. I have a new, intense story for you today. Enjoy it. Olivia had always thought destiny was something predictable. You live according to the plan, school, college, job, buy a condo, and then whatever happens, happens. But when a tall guy with a toolbox and a guilty smile appeared in her accounting department at the end of April, something inside her clicked, as if someone had changed the channel and a completely different show started playing. "Is the server in here, ladies?" he asked, observing the narrow little room full of desks and binders. "They say it died completely." Over there, Olivia pointed to the closet in the corner. "It hasn't turned on for 3 days. The boss is already hysterical." He walked over, crouched down, and started tinkering with something. Olivia went back to her documents, but she couldn't help glancing sideways. He had capable hands, steady, unhurried. After about 20 minutes, the server revived with a soft hum, and the guy stood up, dusting off his jeans. "All set. There was a pound of dust in there. The fan was stuck. You need to clean it every 6 months." "Thank you," Olivia smiled. "We thought it was the end." "You're welcome." He paused for a second and added, "My name is Noah, in case you need anything." "Olivia." They looked at each other. She felt her cheeks burning and turned quickly back to her monitor. Noah packed his tools, but at the door, he turned around. "Hey. Do you drink coffee? Do you want to go out after work? I know a place nearby." The colleagues at the adjacent desks went silent, pretending to be busy. Olivia knew everyone was listening. She could refuse, say she was tired or had plans, but instead she nodded. "Good, I'm free at 6. The coffee shop turned out to be small, with worn-out armchairs and the smell of cinnamon. Noah ordered a cappuccino, Olivia, a latte. They talked about everything: work, the city, how the movies aren't what they used to be. Noah said he had been repairing electronics for 6 years, that he had many clients, but they didn't always pay on time. Olivia complained about the head accountant, who always found faults even in the commas. "And do you own your condo?" Noah asked suddenly. "Yes, a 1-bedroom in a gated residential complex. I paid the mortgage for 4 years, finished it last year." "That's great," he nodded, respectful. "You don't see that much anymore. I rent a studio, pay $1,200. "It gets hot in there, sure. But what can you do?" Olivia shrugged. She always spoke about her condo with discretion, neither bragging nor complaining. 450 square feet on the 4th floor, windows facing the courtyard, quiet neighbors. For her, it was a fortress, something no one could take away. They started seeing each other, at first once a week, then more. Noah invited her to the movies, for walks. One day, he took her to a lookout point outside the city, where they watched the sunset and ate tacos from a food truck. He was calm, reliable, didn't yell, wasn't rude, always let her know if he was running late. But there was one detail Olivia noticed almost immediately. Noah pulled out his phone often to call his mother. "Hi, Mom. Yeah, everything's good. Look, I'm here at a cafe with Olivia." Uh-huh. Well, I don't know, maybe she'll order a salad. What do you think?" He would listen, nod, then put the phone down and tell Olivia. "Mom says don't order the Caesar. Sometimes the mayonnaise isn't very fresh." Another time, when they were choosing a birthday gift for his friend, Noah stood in front of a display case with electric shavers and pulled out his phone. "Mom, what do you know about this? What do you think?" "Phillips or Braun?" "Uh-huh. Okay, thanks." Olivia stayed silent, but inside, something crunched. She was 32. Noah was 34. At that age, men usually know how to pick out their own razors. You know that feeling when you spot a red flag, but you just fold it up nicely and tuck it in your pocket because you want things to work? That was me. I told myself it was sweet, that he valued family. She decided not to make a big deal of it. "Good son," she told herself. "That's good, right? It means he's family-oriented. 6 months passed. August arrived, suffocating. The asphalt was melting in the condo. Not even with the windows open could you breathe. Noah arrived on a Saturday afternoon with a bottle of Merlot and a small velvet box. Olivia opened it. Inside was a ring. No diamonds, obviously, but pretty, with a little stone. "Olivia, I want us to be together," he said, looking into her eyes. "Not just dating. For real. Marry me." She remained silent for 10 seconds and then nodded. Yes. He hugged her, kissed her, and in that moment, Olivia felt it was the right decision. Noah wasn't perfect, but is anyone? The important thing was that he was by her side, that he didn't lie, that he wanted a family. The next day, they were sitting in her kitchen talking about the details. They decided to set the wedding for the end of October. Few guests, about 20 people, just the closest ones. A simple reception at a restaurant, no unnecessary expenses. Noah scratched his head and said, "Hey, and where are we going to live?" "My studio is tiny, there's no room for two." "You can move in with me if you want." Olivia shrugged. "I have a one-bedroom condo, but there's enough space. I already finished the mortgage, so we just have to pay utilities." "Seriously?" Noah perked up visibly. "You don't mind?" "I don't mind." "Then look, I'll pay half the utilities. And food too, 50-50. Deal?" "Deal." He smiled, clearly satisfied. Olivia was calm too. After all, her condo was her territory. Noah would move in as a husband, but that didn't mean anything was going to change. She would still control the situation. A week later, Noah brought his mother. Pamela turned out to be a woman of about 60, strong, with short hair and an attentive gaze. She brought savory pastries and cheese, put them on the table, and immediately started looking around the condo. "Oh, Olivia, you keep everything so clean," she exclaimed. "And the renovation looks new." "Did you do it?" "I hired some contractors," Olivia replied. 2 years ago." "Wonderful." "And did you pick the wallpaper?" "So soft, you see. I love it." Pamela walked around the room, looked at the bathroom, the kitchen. She examined everything with interest, but without being rude. Olivia poured the tea and cut the pastries. Noah sat next to his mother and smiled, pleased that they were getting along. "And isn't it heavy for you to maintain a condo like this alone?" asked Pamela, sipping her tea. "After all, the utilities, the repairs, if something breaks." "I manage," Olivia smiled. "I'm used to it." "Of course, of course." "You are independent. Noah told me what a capable woman you are, that you bought the condo all by yourself, that you paid off the mortgage. Not everyone can do that." "Thank you." Pamela finished her tea, took another piece of pastry. Olivia noticed the woman casting quick glances around as if evaluating or memorizing something. "And do you have spare keys?" the mother-in-law asked suddenly. "Just in case. You never know if you lose them or forget them somewhere." Olivia froze for a second. The question sounded casual, but something about it alerted her. She set her cup down slowly and replied with caution. "Yes, they are in a safe place." "Very good," Pamela nodded. "You know, life is unpredictable. If something happens and there are no keys, good thing you are cautious." Noah didn't pay attention to that conversation. He was eating pastries and telling his mother how he and Olivia had chosen the restaurant for the reception. Pamela listened and smiled, but Olivia felt something didn't fit. Her intuition, which had never failed her, whispered, "Be careful." That night, when Pamela left, Olivia asked Noah, "Where does your mom live?" "She rents a condo," he shrugged. "One bedroom, in the suburbs?" "Expensive, sure, but what can you do?" "Why does she rent?" "Doesn't she have her own place?" "She did. She sold it when my dad died. She wanted to move closer to downtown and thought about buying something smaller." "But prices went up. She didn't have enough money, and now she lives renting." "And you don't help her?" "I help her. Sometimes I send her $100, but I don't earn that much either." "I live renting too." Olivia nodded and asked no more questions, but in her head, several pieces started to come together. Pamela without her own home, Noah moving into her condo soon, the question about the spare keys. All that could be a coincidence. Oh no! September flew by. Noah went to Olivia's house almost every day, stayed to sleep, brought his things little by little, clothes, his razor, his toothbrush. Olivia got used to his presence. He was tidy, didn't throw socks around, washed his dishes. In that sense, a perfect roommate. But Pamela started appearing more and more, once a week, then twice, always with some food, some pastries, a Tupperware of soup, a jar of jam. She would sit in the kitchen, drink tea, and chat about the weather, prices, neighbors. Sometimes she complained about her landlady. Imagine, Olivia, yesterday she calls me and says, starting November 1st, I'm raising the rent $30. I tell her, how come we had an agreement? And she says, prices are going up, I can't do anything. And like that, living however one can. How unpleasant. Olivia nodded. But there are many landlords like that now. Many, sighed Pamela. And I'm already old. What I want is tranquility. And here I am, trembling every month, if my pension will be enough, if they won't kick me out. Noah kept silent. He was sitting next to her looking at his phone. Olivia saw he felt uncomfortable, but he didn't say anything. He probably hoped the topic would vanish on its own. One afternoon, when Pamela left, Olivia asked bluntly, Noah, isn't your mother thinking about moving in with us? He jumped, looked at her surprised. What? No. Why do you say that? Because she complains a lot about her rented condo. I thought maybe she was hinting at something. No, not at all. Mom is just talkative. She worries about everything, but that doesn't mean she wants to move in with us. And if she wanted to? Noah hesitated. He rubbed his forehead and then said, with insecurity, well, maybe sometimes she could stay for a few days, if it doesn't bother you. Not forever, of course. Just a couple of days, if she feels sick. A couple of days is one thing, forever is another. Of course, of course. I understand. Olivia nodded, but inside, something tensed up. She knew that type of mother. First, it's a few days, then a week, then, well, since I'm already here, why go back and forth? And next thing you know, she's registered at your address and claiming squatters' rights. But she said nothing. She just filed it away in her memory. October began with rain. Olivia bought a wedding dress on sale, simple, white, without frills. Low-heel shoes. They ordered a modest bouquet, roses and baby's breath. Everything was proceeding calmly, without haste. Even too calmly. A week before the wedding, Pamela started calling Noah 3 times a day. Olivia heard him go to another room and speak almost in whispers. Fragments of sentences came through the door. Mom, I can't right now. Mom, wait. Mom, we'll talk about that. One day, Olivia asked directly, what's going on? Nothing. Noah waved his hand. Mom is nervous about the wedding. She worries about me. About you? You're 34 years old. Yeah, but she still worries. It's normal. Olivia didn't reply, but the calls continued. She heard Pamela saying something insistent, demanding. Noah answered in a low voice, guilty. Sometimes he sighed as if carrying an invisible weight. The eve of the wedding, Olivia was coming back from work. She planned to stop by home, grab her phone charger, and then go to the salon to get her manicure and hair done. But upon entering the lobby, Mrs. Higgins called her, a chubby neighbor with grocery bags who always knew everything about everyone. Olivia, hi. Mrs. Higgins smiled. You're getting married tomorrow, right? Congratulations. Thanks, Olivia nodded. Well, your mother-in-law already brought you furniture. Yesterday afternoon she came with 2 men, movers. They brought a folding bed and some boxes. She had keys. She opened the door herself. Are you really going to have her live with you? Olivia froze. A buzzing filled her ears. What? Yes. Yesterday, around 2. I was coming back from the post office and I saw it. I thought you knew. Olivia turned around without saying a word and ran up the stairs. Her heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was going to burst out of her chest. She opened the door with her key, entered the hallway, and stood paralyzed. Next to the wall were 3 large boxes, written on them with marker, dishes, clothes, Miss Key. Olivia walked into the living room. Next to the wall where her favorite lamp used to be, there was now an old folding bed. In the kitchen, on the table, were bags of food. In a corner, pots she hadn't bought. She stood in the middle of her condo, unable to move. Rage, offense, humiliation boiled inside her. Pamela had entered there without permission, brought her things, occupied space as if that were her house. Olivia took out her phone and called Noah. Ring. 1, 2, 3. He hung up. She tried again. He hung up again. Then she sat on the sofa and started to think. Coldly, with calculation. She could make a scandal, throw the mother-in-law's things into the hallway, call Noah, scream at him, demand explanations. But for what? He would say, I didn't know anything, or Mom decided alone, I'm not to blame. Pamela would cry, complain that she had been offended, and Olivia would look like the evil one who didn't want to let a poor old lady in. No, not like that. She got up and went to the boxes, opened one, inside, dishes, old plates, cups with chipped edges. She closed it. The second one, clothes, robes, slippers. The third, books, photos, trinkets. Olivia carefully moved the 3 boxes toward the front door. She folded the bed and took it to the storage room. She put the pots in a bag and left it next to the boxes. Then she took her phone, searched for a locksmith, and called. The man answered immediately. Hello? Hi. Can you come today to change a lock? It's urgent. Address? She dictated it. The locksmith thought for a moment and said, I'll arrive in an hour and a half. $50 for labor, plus the price of the cylinder. From 20 to 60 depending on the model. Perfect. I'll wait for you. He arrived on time. A young guy in coveralls and a tool case. Olivia showed him the lock. He examined it and nodded. Got it. Doing it now. It took about 20 minutes. He took out the old cylinder, placed the new one, tested it several times. Olivia paid, $110 total. He handed her 3 new keys. Here. The old ones won't work anymore. Thanks. When the locksmith left, Olivia locked the door from the inside and leaned against it. In her hand were the new keys, cold and heavy. She looked at the boxes by the door, the empty space where the folding bed had been, and thought, Done. My condo is mine again. She grabbed her purse, put the old keys inside, the ones the mother-in-law used, and left. They were waiting for her at the salon. Tomorrow was the wedding. And there, at City Hall, Pamela and Noah would receive a lesson they wouldn't forget. The morning of the wedding started with Olivia waking up at 5, unable to go back to sleep. She lay in her bed, staring at the ceiling and mentally reviewing what happened the day before. The boxes, the folding bed, Pamela's shamelessness, not even asking for permission. Noah, ignoring her calls, surely knowing very well what his mother was planning. Olivia got up and went to the window. Through the glass, she saw a gray October sunrise, wet asphalt, a few cars. Just another morning, but for her, special. Today, she would get married. And today, she would prove that she was not to be trifled with. She made coffee and sat in the kitchen with the cup in her hand. In the hallway, the 3 boxes and the bag with the pots remained. She hadn't moved them on purpose. Let them stay there. Let Noah see them when he comes to pick her up to go to the registry. Let's see what he says, if he says anything at all. At 9, her friend Chloe arrived, the witness, a friend since college. Redhead, energetic, she burst into the condo with 2 bags and a bouquet of white roses. Bride A! Chloe hugged Olivia. Ready to change your last name? I'm not changing it, Olivia smiled. I'm keeping mine. Good job. Why deal with all that paperwork later? Chloe left the bags on the table. Here I brought champagne, ham sandwiches, fruit. Let's get you ready. And what is that? She pointed to the boxes in the entryway. That. Olivia took a sip of coffee. Those are my mother-in-law's things. She brought them here yesterday, without asking. Chloe whistled. Seriously? I mean, she just came with some movers and… Yes, because she had keys. Oh my God, and what did you do? I changed the lock. Her boxes are right there. She can come pick them up. Chloe nodded slowly. Then she walked over and hugged Olivia by the shoulders. You know, I always thought you were too soft. I'm glad I was wrong. They started getting ready. Chloe did a light, natural makeup for Olivia, barely highlighting her eyes and lips, then fixed her hair. Olivia sat in front of the mirror and watched how, from an ordinary woman in a robe, she was turning into a bride. White dress, impeccable hair, bouquet in hands. Everything as it should be. But inside, there was neither joy nor excitement, only a cold and firm decision. Olivia asked Chloe suddenly in a low voice, "Are you sure you want to marry him?" "Sure." Olivia looked at her friend in the reflection. "I just want to make things clear from the start so there are no misunderstandings later." "And if he doesn't accept?" "Then it's not necessary." Chloe nodded. They didn't touch the subject again. At 11:15, Noah arrived. Olivia heard the doorbell, opened the door. He stood on the threshold in a dark suit and a bouquet of roses, disoriented and guilty. Behind him, you could see his friend Jake, the best man, a burly guy with very short hair. "Hi." Noah handed her the flowers. You look beautiful." "Thanks." Olivia took the bouquet and gave it to Chloe. "Come in." Noah took a step inside the hallway and immediately bumped into the boxes. He froze. His face went white. This, are these Mom's things?" "Yes." Olivia fastened her shoes. "She brought them yesterday. Did you know?" He opened his mouth, closed it, then mumbled, Well, she said she wanted to leave a couple of things here, but I didn't think, that she would do it without my consent." Olivia stood up straight and looked him in the eyes. "Noah, your mother had keys to my condo. From where?" I gave them to her." "Just in case?" "Just in case what?" "Well, I don't know. In case something happens to you or you lose your keys or in case your mother decides to move into my house without asking." Noah swallowed hard. Jake, behind him, shifted uncomfortably, pretending to look at the wallpaper. Chloe, holding the bouquets, was openly enjoying the show. "Olivia, listen to me." Noah tried to take her hand, but she pulled away. "Mom she's nervous. She's in a difficult situation with her condo, and she thought she could simply install herself in mine?" Olivia interrupted him. "Noah, this condo is mine. I bought it. I paid the mortgage for 4 years, and no one, do you hear me? No one is going to live here without my permission. I understand, but I changed the lock. Here are the old keys." Olivia took the keychain out of her purse and handed it to him. "Give them to your mother. Tell her to come pick up her things." Noah took the keys. His fingers were trembling. He looked at her, and in his eyes there was something between fear and reproach. "Are you serious?" "Completely." He wanted to say something else, but Chloe intervened with a cheerful and clear voice. "Guys, we're late. The ceremony is at 12, and it's already almost 11:30. Shall we go?" Olivia took her bouquet and put on a light jacket. Noah walked out silently behind her. Jake followed. They went down to the car, a white sedan decorated with ribbons and balloons. Noah's friend offered to drive. Olivia sat in the back seat next to Chloe. Noah in the front. During the whole ride, he didn't say a word, staring out the window. Olivia watched how his shoulders were tense, how he clenched his fists on his knees. City Hall was in an old mansion downtown. White columns, wide stairs, a group of well-dressed guests at the entrance. When they arrived, Olivia saw the guests, about 20 people. Her colleagues from accounting, some friends, her cousin. On Noah's side, his friends, a couple of relatives, and Pamela. The mother-in-law stood at the top of the steps, in a burgundy suit and a large pearl necklace, hair pulled back in an impeccable bun, lips painted bright red. She smiled and waved at Noah. When Olivia got out of the car, Pamela's smile tightened a little, but didn't disappear. "Hi, Olivia." The mother-in-law came down, hugged her. "Oh, you look gorgeous. The dress is divine, the hair, wonderful. Noah, look what a bride you have." Noah nodded, without answering anything. Pamela tensed for an instant, but immediately put her usual smile back on. "Well, shall we go? The most interesting part is about to start." Everyone went up to the registry room, a spacious hall, high ceilings, chandeliers, and rows of chairs for the guests. At the front, a table behind which sat the city clerk, a robust woman about 50 with a tired face and a strict suit. Olivia and Noah approached the table. The guests took their seats. Pamela settled in the front row. Next to her, Noah's sister, a quiet woman with 2 kids. The clerk adjusted her glasses, opened the folder with the documents, and looked at the couple. Good morning. Today we have gathered to register the marriage between Noah Reed and Olivia Sawyer. Please maintain silence. She began to read the text. Long, official, about the rights and duties of spouses, about family code, about marriage being celebrated voluntarily. Guests yawned, some looked at their phones, others whispered. Pamela was radiant, not taking her eyes off her son. Olivia stood beside Noah, waiting. She knew the important part came next. According to the Civil Code, read the official in a monotone voice, spouses must build their relationships on the basis of mutual respect and reciprocal help. Assets acquired during marriage are considered common property unless a prenuptial agreement states otherwise. Olivia, out of the corner of her eye, watched Pamela. The mother-in-law whispered something to the woman next to her, smiled, nodded. Then she leaned toward Noah. He was a step ahead and said in a low voice, but loud enough for Olivia to hear, after the signature, straight to the daughter-in-law's condo. While you idiots are standing here, I've already moved my stuff in. Olivia froze. Her heart pounded so hard that for a second she gasped for air. She turned her head and looked at her mother-in-law. Pamela smiled, never imagining that Olivia had heard. Noah barely nodded to her, neither surprised nor protesting. Everything became clear. He knew. Of course he knew. It was their plan. The mother-in-law installs herself in the condo while the bride and groom are at City Hall. And then, when Olivia returns, it will be too late to be outraged. Pamela will already be inside, already settled. The daughter-in-law wouldn't dare kick an old woman out onto the street. Everyone would say it's cruel. But they didn't know one thing. Olivia had already figured it all out the day before, and she had already made a decision. The clerk finished reading and looked up at Noah. Noah Reed, do you take Olivia Sawyer as your lawful wife? Yes, I do. Noah forced a smile. His voice came out steady. Olivia Sawyer. The official turned to her. Do you take Noah Reed as your lawful husband? Olivia paused. 3 seconds. 5, 10. The guests started looking at each other. Noah watched her sideways, eyebrow raising in surprise. Pamela stopped smiling, went on alert. The clerk frowned. Olivia Sawyer? She repeated. Olivia looked at Noah, then at Pamela, then directly into the clerk's eyes and said in a loud, clear, firm voice so everyone could hear, I do, but only if Noah Reed agrees that my condo is completely mine, that only I have the keys, and that no one, not even his mother, will live there without my permission. If not, I don't. A silence so dense fell in the room you could hear a fly buzz. Then someone in the back let out a giggle, then another, and immediately a general laughter broke out. Olivia's friends started clapping. The accounting colleagues looked at each other and smiled. Jake, the best man, covered his mouth with his hand, but his shoulders were shaking with laughter. Pamela went pale, her face elongated, eyes opened wide. She clung to her purse like a life preserver. Noah was red as a boiled tomato, opened his mouth, closed it, tried to say something, but only incomprehensible sounds came out. I don't... He managed to stammer finally. Olivia, I didn't know that she... You didn't know? Olivia interrupted him, voice calm and cold. I heard you a moment ago when your mother whispered that she had already moved her things in, so don't fake surprise. But Really? Noah was speechless and looked at his mother. She was shrunken, face twisted with rage and shame. So, what? Olivia turned to him. Do you agree? The clerk watched them over her glasses, with an almost imperceptible smile on her lips. The guests kept silent. Everyone waited for the answer. Pamela jumped up and hissed, Noah, say something. This is disrespectful. A disgrace. But Noah didn't look at his mother. He looked at Olivia, and apparently he saw something in her eyes, something that forced him to swallow hard, lower his gaze, and nod. Agreed, he whispered. Louder, asked Olivia, so everyone can hear. Agreed, Noah raised his voice. I agree. Your condo is yours, and no one will live there without your permission. Olivia nodded. She turned to the official. Then, I accept. The clerk could barely contain a smile. She opened the civil registry book and picked up a pen. Good. Then, sign here. Olivia took the pen and signed. Noah did it after. His hand was trembling so much the letters came out crooked. The official stamped the seal, closed the book. Congratulations, you are now husband and wife. The guests began to murmur. Some applauded. Chloe ran to Olivia, hugged her. You're a hero. That was spectacular. Jake approached Noah and slapped him on the back. Holy cow, buddy. The bride really put you on blast. Noah didn't reply. He was pale, staring into space. Pamela shot toward the door. Olivia saw her almost running out without saying goodbye to anyone. A second later, the door slammed shut. Everyone started to leave. Some approached Olivia, shook her hand, laughed. One of the office colleagues, a chubby woman with short hair, commented, Olivia, I always thought you were quiet, and look at you. You did great. You have to put mother-in-laws in their place from the start, or you'll never get rid of them, not even with boiling water. Olivia's cousin, a young girl of 25, whispered to her, When I get married, I'll do the same. It was incredible. Olivia smiled, nodded, said thanks, but inside, she was empty. She had won. She had put everyone in their place, but she felt no joy, just tiredness and a strange numbness. They went out to the street. The rain had stopped, but the sky remained gray. Noah lit a cigarette, even though he never smoked. Olivia walked over and asked, Where is your mother? She left. He inhaled, blew out the smoke. In an Uber. Is she not coming to the reception? I don't know. I guess not. They stood in silence. Jake and Chloe chatted by the car. The guests were dispersing, getting into their vehicles. The reception would be at a restaurant on the other side of town. Olivia. Noah finally looked at her. Do you really think I wanted to hurt you? And you didn't? He stammered. Mom decided alone. She said she'd leave her things for a couple of days while she found another rental. I thought you'd understand. Noah, she wanted to move in with me forever, and you knew perfectly well. No, Stop, Olivia interrupted him. Don't lie to yourself or to me. Your mother wanted to be the third person in our marriage, and you allowed it. You gave her keys. You stayed silent when she brought her things. And today you planned to take me to the condo where she was already installed and say, Well, it happened. Just put up with it a little. Isn't that true? Noah kept silent. Finished the cigarette, threw the butt and crushed it with his foot. Then he nodded. Yes, I suppose so. See? Olivia sighed. I'm not against your mother. Let her come visit. Let her stay over if necessary. But that condo is mine, and no one will live there permanently without my consent. Understood? And no more secrets. If your mother plans something, you tell me immediately. Agreed. Agreed. Olivia looked at him, that tall and insecure man who had just become her husband. She didn't know if everything would go well between them, didn't know if he could free himself from his mother's influence. But she knew something with total clarity. She wouldn't allow anyone to run her life. Not him, not his mother, not anyone. Let's go to the reception, she said. The guests are waiting. They got into the car. Jake started the engine. Chloe turned on the music. During the whole ride, Olivia looked out the window thinking that her wedding would be remembered for a long time, and not for the white dress, nor the bouquet, nor the vows, but for how the bride, in full view at City Hall, put the mother-in-law and the groom in their place. The restaurant received them with loud music and tables already set. Guests were starting to sit, some filling champagne glasses. Olivia and Noah headed to the head table. The DJ, an older man with a microphone, started the event. He gave toasts, made jokes, asked the couple to kiss. Noah kissed Olivia tensely without enthusiasm. The guests shouted, "Kiss!" laughed, but everyone understood the vibe was off. Chloe came over and whispered to Olivia, "Any regrets?" "About what?" "About saying it like that. Maybe there was another way. Softer." Olivia shook her head. "No. If I had stayed quiet, my mother-in-law would already be on top of me. Now she knows she can't mess with me." "And Noah? Is he not mad?" "If he's mad, that's his business, but he knows the rules now." Chloe nodded and smiled. "You're incredible, Olivia. I mean it." The reception dragged on. They ate, drank, danced. Some approached the newlyweds to toast. One of Olivia's friends, Ashley, said directly into the microphone, "I want to wish our bride to always remain this strong and not let anyone hurt her, and to the groom, that he learns to value a wife like this." The guests applauded. Noah smiled stiffly. Olivia raised her glass. Around 9 at night, everyone started leaving. Olivia said goodbye to the guests, hugged her friends, thanked them for the gifts. Noah stood by her side in silence, nodding, shaking hands. When everyone left, only the two of them remained with Jake and Chloe. "Well, newlyweds," said Jake, slapping Noah on the back. "Heading home?" "Let's go." Olivia nodded. They got in the car. Jake dropped Chloe off first and then took Olivia and Noah to their house. The whole way, no one spoke. Olivia looked out the window. Noah looked at his own shoes. When they arrived at the lobby, Jake said, "Well, guys, congratulations. Noah, call me tomorrow?" "I'll call you." He nodded. They went up to the condo. Olivia opened the door with the new key. In the hallway, the boxes and the bag with pots were still there. Noah looked at them and asked, "What do we do with this?" "Tomorrow, you pick them up and take them to your mother." "Okay." He went into the living room and sat on the sofa. Olivia took off her shoes, changed into comfortable clothes, and went to the window. Below, streetlights shone. A few cars circulated. Just another night. But for her, the first night as a wife. "Olivia," Noah said suddenly. She turned. He was on the sofa, head down. "What? Do you forgive me?" "For what?" "For not stopping Mom, for giving her the keys, for keeping quiet." Olivia walked over, sat next to him, and looked at him. "Noah, I married you, so I am willing to forgive. But on one condition, don't do it again. I am your wife, not a piece in the game between you and your mother. Understood?" He nodded. "Sorry." "Good." They sat in silence. Outside, the wind blew. Olivia thought her married life was starting in a strange way. Not with romance or tenderness, but with a harsh lesson. But maybe it was for the best. Now everyone knew where the limit was and whose territory was whose. Noah went to bed first. Olivia stayed a while in the kitchen, finishing her tea. Then she approached the boxes in the hallway, observed them, and thought, "What is Pamela doing right now? Crying? Angry? Planning something new?" Probably the latter. That type of woman doesn't give up at the first defeat. But Olivia was prepared. She had defended her territory once and would do it again if necessary. She turned off the light, lay down next to Noah. He was sleeping, back turned to her. Olivia closed her eyes and thought, "So this is it. Now I'm married. Let's see what comes next." The first days after the wedding passed in a tense silence. Noah went to work, came back in the evening, ate in silence and watched TV. Olivia worked too, cooked, cleaned. They behaved like roommates renting a place, not like newlyweds. The boxes with Pamela's things remained in the hallway. Noah had promised to take them on the weekend, but the weekend arrived, and he kept postponing it. "Noah, when are you taking this to your mother's house?" Olivia asked Saturday morning, pointing to the boxes. "Today," he nodded without looking up from his phone. "I'll call her now and arrange it." But he didn't call. He spent the whole day at home, looking at something on his laptop, then went to see a friend and came back late, smelling of beer. Olivia said nothing. She went to bed, turning her back to him. Sunday morning, a call woke her up. She reached for the phone on the nightstand and saw an unknown number. "Hello?" "Olivia?" The voice was of an older woman, but it wasn't Pamela. "It's Dolores, Chloe's mother. Sorry to call so early." "Good morning." Olivia sat up. "Did something happen?" No, everything's fine. I just wanted to tell you that you did very well with your mother-in-law. Chloe told me everything. Very well done setting boundaries from the start. If not, those little mothers climb on your neck and never get off." Olivia smiled. "Thanks. I just wanted to avoid problems later." "And absolutely. You stay firm, honey. If you need anything, call Chloe. She'll help you." They said goodbye. Olivia put the phone down and looked at Noah. He was sleeping, arms spread out, snoring softly. A common man, neither villain nor tyrant, simply weak, incapable of confronting his mother, incapable of setting boundaries, and now it would be up to Olivia to do it for both of them. She got up, went to the kitchen, made coffee, sat by the window, and thought. Maybe she had made a mistake marrying him. Maybe she should have waited, known him better. But it was too late. The signature was done, the seal on the documents. Now all that was left was to fix what was there. Shortly before 11, Noah woke up. He came to the kitchen disheveled, in sweatpants and a wrinkled t-shirt. "Good morning," he murmured. "Good morning." Olivia poured him coffee. "Are you taking the boxes to your mother today?" He nodded and sat at the table. "I'll take them. I'll call her after breakfast." "Good." They ate breakfast in silence. Noah took out his phone and called his mother. Olivia heard the rings. 1, 2, 3, cut off. Noah frowned and tried again. Cut off again. "She's not answering," he said. "She's surely offended." "Write her a text. Tell her you're bringing the things." He obeyed. No answer. Noah put the phone down and looked at Olivia. "What if I just go? I'll leave them at the door and that's it." "No," Olivia denied. "You have to talk to her. Explain that this won't happen again." "She won't want to listen to me." "Then, that's her problem. But you must try." Noah sighed, nodded. He got up, got dressed, took the boxes. There were 3, plus the bag with the pots. He carried them down with difficulty to the car and loaded them in the trunk. Olivia watched him from the window as he drove away. The white sedan disappeared around the corner. She was left alone. She cleaned, did laundry, prepared food. 2 hours later, Noah called her. "I'm at Mom's house. She won't open the door." "What do you mean she won't open?" "I ring the bell, I knock. She doesn't answer. But I know she's home. The neighbor said she saw her this morning." Olivia kept silent for a few seconds and then said, "Leave the things at the door and write her a note." "What note?" "That you brought her things, and that the keys to my condo don't work anymore because I changed the lock. She already knows. Let it be in writing, so later she can't say she didn't understand anything." Noah sighed. "All right." He hung up. Olivia returned to her tasks. An hour later, Noah returned. He entered the condo gloomy, tired. "I left them at the door," he said. "I left her the note. I don't know if she'll pick them up." "She'll pick them up," Olivia shrugged. "She just wants to show how offended she is." "Yeah, I guess." He sat on the sofa and stared at the turned-off TV. Olivia brought him a bowl of soup and left it on the table. Noah ate and then went back to the sofa where he fell asleep. Olivia watched him and thought, is this really how life is going to be? Him staying silent and hiding and me solving all the problems? That night, they were watching a movie. Some random action movie, boring and predictable. Olivia wasn't following the plot, lost in her own thoughts. Suddenly, Noah said, "You know, Mom called." "When?" "An hour ago, when you were in the bathroom." "And what did she say?" Noah took a moment before answering. "That I'm a traitor, that I chose a strange woman over my own mother, that she raised me alone after Dad died, and now I turn my back on her." Olivia turned off the TV and faced him. "Noah, are you a traitor?" "No, of course not." "Did you choose a strange woman over your mother?" "I chose my wife. It's normal." "Then why does it affect you so much?" He looked at her. In his eyes there was something defenseless, almost childish. "Because I feel sorry for her. She is really alone. She has no one but me. And you, besides her, have me, and our family, which we just started building." "I know." "No, you don't know," Olivia sighed. "Listen, Noah, I'm not against your mother. Let her come see us. Let us go see her. That's fine. But she shouldn't run our life, shouldn't enter my condo without permission, shouldn't manipulate you. Do you understand the difference?" "I understand." "Then stop torturing yourself. You did the right thing." He nodded, but Olivia saw he wasn't really convinced. Pamela had planted guilt in him so deeply that now it lived in every corner of his mind. And rooting it out wouldn't be easy. A week passed. Noah went to work, Olivia to hers. At night, they ate dinner together, sometimes watched series. They lived quietly without arguments, but also without closeness. Olivia felt there was a wall between them. Noah didn't touch her, didn't try to kiss her. They slept in the same bed, but each under their own blanket, back to back. One night, Olivia couldn't take it anymore. "Noah, Are we going to keep living like roommates? What do you mean? I mean, we don't even talk properly. You're closed off, as if I were your enemy. You're not my enemy. Then why do you act like this? He kept silent and then said, very low, I'm ashamed. Ashamed of what? Of having failed you, of not stopping Mom, that she humiliated you in public. Olivia sat next to him and took his hand. Noah, listen. Yes, you acted wrong, but you recognized your mistake, and you accepted my conditions. That's already something. Let's just try to move forward. Live like a normal couple. Okay, he squeezed her hand. Let's try. That night they hugged for the first time in a week. It was a shy approach, clumsy, but it was something. Olivia closed her eyes and thought, maybe everything will get better. Maybe they'll make it. But the next day, everything changed. Olivia was coming back from work. It was already dark. Streetlights cast a yellow glow and it was drizzling. She entered the lobby, went up the stairs, and she heard voices. Voices from her condo. A woman's voice, loud, indignant. Olivia quickened her pace. Arriving at the 4th floor, she saw Pamela. The mother-in-law was in front of the condo door in a brown coat and a huge purse. Beside her, 2 men in work clothes and toolboxes. This is my condo! Screamed Pamela. My son lives here! I have rights! Olivia's stomach froze. She approached. Pamela saw her and straightened up. Ah, look who arrived! Hi, Olivia. I decided that since you and Noah are family, I can come more often. I brought the locksmiths. I wanted to ask them to change the lock again so my keys work again. Olivia stopped 2 steps from her, looked at the locksmiths. They shifted uncomfortably, smelling the conflict. Leave, Olivia told the men. There is no lock to change. What do you mean there's no need to change it? Shrieked Pamela. I already paid them. Give her the money back and leave, repeated Olivia. This condo is mine. I haven't authorized any changes. One of the locksmiths, an older man with a gray beard, scratched his head. Look, we don't want trouble. They called us to do a job. If the owner doesn't want to, we leave. I do want to. Pamela grabbed his arm. I am the owner's mother. The owner is me. Olivia took out her phone and opened a photo of the property deed. Here is the document. The condo is in my name. Only mine. Noah is not an owner. The locksmiths looked at each other. The younger one said, Then we're leaving. Excuse us. They turned around and walked toward the stairs. Pamela ran after them. Wait, I already paid you $30. Here is your $30. The older locksmith shoved the wrinkled bills into her hand. Good day. They disappeared down the stairwell. Pamela stood with the money in her hand, slowly turned toward Olivia, face red, eyes blazing. You do this on purpose, she spat. You want to separate me from my son? I want you to respect my boundaries, said Olivia, opening the door calmly. You tried to get into my condo without permission. I stopped you. Now you try to change the lock to get back in. I stopped you again. What part do you not understand? I don't understand how you dare speak like that to an older person. Pamela took a step forward. I am your husband's mother. I have a right to be here. You do, Olivia nodded. When I invite you, not when you decide on your own. I'm going to call Noah. He's going to put you in your place. Call him. Pamela dialed the number. Olivia leaned against the door and waited. The phone rang for a long time and went to voicemail. Pamela tried again. Voicemail again. He's not answering, she murmured. He always answers. Maybe he's busy, said Olivia. He's working. Then I'll wait for him here. Suit yourself, but not in the hallway. The neighbors are going to complain. Olivia entered the condo and closed the door, leaned against it, closed her eyes. Her hands were trembling from anger and adrenaline. Pamela wasn't giving up. She had returned, and she would return again and again until she got what she wanted. Olivia went to the window and looked down. There was Noah. He was smoking by the entrance, looking at his phone, so he had already arrived from work and surely had seen his mother on the stairs, but didn't come up. Olivia called him. He answered immediately. Hello? Where are you? Downstairs at the entrance. Why don't you come up? Pause. Then, "Is Mom there?" "Yes. She tried to change the lock, brought some locksmiths." Noah kept silent for a long time. Then he said with a dull voice, "I'm coming up." Olivia hung up. A minute later, the doorbell rang. She opened the door. On the threshold stood Noah, soaked by the rain. Behind him, Pamela. "Noah!" She threw herself at him. "Finally! Tell your wife to stop being rude. I just wanted to help you, make some spare keys, and she—" "Mom," Noah interrupted her. His voice sounded tired. "Stop." "Stop what?" "Stop the lies. You didn't want to make spare keys. You wanted to move in here." Pamela stood motionless, then let out indignantly. "How can you say that? I am your mother. I dedicated my whole life to you." "Mom, please." Noah closed his eyes. "Let's not continue. I'm tired." "Tired? And me? Am I not tired? I raised you alone after your father died, sent you to college, helped you all my life, and now because of this one, because of her." Pamela pointed a finger at Olivia. "Mom, enough!" Noah raised his voice. Olivia flinched. It was the first time she heard him speak to her like that. "Olivia is my wife, and this condo is hers. Not mine, not yours. Hers. I live here because she allows me to. You can come when she invites you, and that's it. There are no more options." You are a traitor," whispered Pamela, lips trembling. "You chose her instead of me." "I chose my life," Noah sighed. "Mom, I love you, but I can't live how you want. I can't be your little boy forever." "So you don't need me anymore." Pamela turned halfway toward the stairs. "Very well. Perfect. Live how you want, but don't call me anymore. Don't come see me. I don't have a son anymore." She went down the stairs. Noah stood on the threshold watching her walk away. Olivia saw his shoulders shaking. She approached and hugged him from behind. "You did good," she said softly. "I don't know." He covered his face with his hands. "I feel like I've done something terrible." "No. You did what needed to be done a long time ago." They entered the condo. Noah sat on the sofa, looking at the floor. Olivia sat next to him and took his hand. They remained in silence, listening to the rain against the window. "She's not going to forgive this," said Noah. "Maybe she will. Maybe she won't. With time." "No, she's not one of those who forgive." Olivia didn't reply. She knew it was true. Pamela didn't forgive. That type of woman doesn't accept defeat. They hold grudges, plan, wait for the moment to strike back. And Olivia knew that sooner or later she would try again, but this time she would be prepared. That night, Noah was lying on the sofa, staring at the ceiling. Olivia was making dinner, but neither had an appetite. They ate in silence and then went to sleep. Noah hugged her, rested his forehead on her shoulder. "Thanks," he whispered. "For what?" "For not letting me crumble." Olivia stroked his hair without answering. She knew many trials still awaited them. Pamela wouldn't give up with a single failure. She would call, come, manipulate, try to regain control over her son. And Olivia would have to protect her home, her marriage, her family. But she was ready. That night, she had a strange dream. She dreamt she was in front of her condo door, and someone on the other side was trying to get in, pounding, scratching, screaming. Olivia held the door with all her strength, but the hinges creaked. The door was about to give way. Then she woke up soaked in sweat. Noah slept beside her, breathing calmly. Outside, it was dark. Olivia got up, went to the window, looked at the empty street, the few lit windows. And then she saw her. Down below, next to the lobby entrance under the streetlight, was a familiar figure. A woman in a brown coat, staring fixatedly up at the windows of her condo. Pamela. Olivia stood frozen. They looked at each other across the distance in the darkness. Then the mother-in-law slowly raised a finger and made a threatening gesture. She turned around and disappeared into the night. Olivia stepped away from the window. Her heart was beating hard. She went back to bed and lay down next to Noah. Closed her eyes, but couldn't sleep. She knew that was just the beginning. The real war was still to come, and she had to be prepared for everything. In the morning, Olivia woke up first, made coffee, and sat in the kitchen. Noah came out, drowsy, and sat opposite her. "Did you sleep badly?" he asked. I heard you get up last night. Couldn't sleep, she shrugged. Nothing serious? Noah nodded. They had breakfast in silence. Then he went to get ready for work. Olivia got dressed too, grabbed her purse. When they left the condo, she checked the lock again. The new one. The safe one. Pamela couldn't open it, but Olivia knew the true conflict wasn't at the door, but inside Noah. And that battle was yet to be fought. 3 days passed since Pamela's nocturnal visit. Olivia didn't tell Noah she had seen his mother under the streetlight watching the windows. Why worry him more? He was already walking around gloomy, barely speaking, answering friends' messages with monosyllables, and at night sat on the sofa with his phone, staring at the screen doing nothing. Olivia tried to converse, asked about work, proposed going out, but Noah just nodded and went back to shutting himself in. She understood. He was suffering the estrangement from his mother. All his life, Pamela had been the center of his universe, and now that center was collapsing. Noah needed time to learn to live differently. Thursday afternoon, Olivia came back from work later than usual. They had been delayed with reports, and the boss reviewed every figure as if looking for mistakes on purpose. She went up to the 4th floor, exhausted, thinking only of the sofa. Opened the door and immediately felt it. Something wasn't right. The condo was too quiet. At that hour, Noah usually was home, watching TV or cooking something. But now, nothing. "Noah?" called Olivia. No answer. She entered the bedroom, empty. The kitchen, empty. Maybe he had stayed working late. Olivia took out her phone and called him. Ring. Another. Cut. She frowned and called again. Cut again. She texted him. "Where are you?" No answer. Worry started squeezing her chest. She went through the condo again, opened doors, looked at the balcony, the bathroom, the pantry. Nothing. His things were still there, jacket on the rack, shoes by the door. So he had left with what he was wearing in the morning. She called him again. This time, after the 4th ring, Noah answered. "Yes." "Where are you?" Olivia let out a breath. "You're scaring me." "I'm at Mom's house," he said with a dull voice. "She called me this afternoon, said she felt bad. I came to see her." Olivia slumped into a chair. A thought flashed through her mind. It's starting. "And how is she?" she asked, trying to sound calm. "I don't know. She has high blood pressure. Her head hurts. I called the doctor. I'm waiting. Do you want me to go?" "No, Mom doesn't want to see you." Short pause. "Okay." She swallowed hard. "Let me know when the doctor checks her." "I will." He hung up. Olivia sat there, looking at the wall. Inside, everything was shrinking into a knot. Pamela was counterattacking, and she was hitting exactly where Noah was most vulnerable, in his guilt. She got up, started making dinner, chopping vegetables, putting water to boil, hands moving on their own, while her mind spun on the same thing. The mother-in-law wasn't sick, or if she was, it wasn't serious. Just enough to call the son, but not enough to require real help. It was manipulation. Classic, crude, but effective. An hour later, Noah called. "The doctor came, says it's stress, prescribed meds and rest." "I'm glad it's nothing serious." Olivia stirred the soup. "When are you coming back?" Long silence. Then, "Olivia, I'm going to stay here tonight. Mom is alone. She feels bad. I can't leave her like this." "Noah, please. But only for one night." Olivia closed her eyes. She wanted to say, "Don't go. Don't do it. She's manipulating you." But instead she said, "Okay. Only one night." "Thanks. You're the best." He hung up. Olivia turned off the stove, covered the pot with the lid. She had no appetite. She lay on the sofa, wrapped herself in a blanket. Outside, it got dark. The condo was silent and empty. For the first time since the wedding, she was completely alone. That night, Olivia barely slept. Tossed and turned, looked at the ceiling. Scenarios repeated in her head. What if Pamela doesn't let Noah return? What if it's not one night, but 2, 3? What if she starts calling him constantly about her pressure, her head, her heart? And he, crushed by guilt, runs every time she snaps her fingers, until he's trapped in her web again? At dawn, Olivia got up feeling wrecked with a headache, drank coffee, and got ready for work. The phone remained silent. She texted Noah, "How is Mom?" The answer arrived half an hour later. "Better, coming home soon." Olivia checked her phone all day, but Noah didn't appear. In the evening, she returned from work. The condo was still empty. She called him. "Noah, where are you?" "Still with Mom. I'm sorry. Her pressure went up again. I can't leave now." "And if you call emergency services?" "No need. I can handle it. I'll give her the medicine and stay a while. When will you come?" "I don't know. Late, I guess." "Go to bed. Don't wait for me." Olivia hung up and clenched her fists so hard her nails marked her skin. Everything was happening as she imagined. Pamela pulled the string and Noah followed docilely where she led him. Friday, Olivia woke up alone. Noah hadn't returned. She called him. He answered with a sleepy voice. "Yes. Did you spend the night at your mother's?" "Yes. She asked me to stay. She's scared to be alone." "Noah, she's 60 years old. She is an adult woman. She has lived alone all her life since your father died." "I know, but now she is really bad. Olivia, understand? I can't leave her alone." "And me, you can leave?" Silence. "What?" Noah didn't understand. "Can you leave me? I am your wife, or did you forget?" "I didn't forget, but Mom—" "Mom is more important, right?" Olivia interrupted him. Her voice sounded cold. "Fine, stay with her, as long as you need." She hung up before he responded, sat on the bed, staring fixedly at the wall. Inside, boiled rage, hurt, disappointment, and also a cold and clear realization. If she didn't stop this now, Noah would return permanently under his mother's wing, and their marriage would end before starting. Olivia got up, got dressed, and went to work. All day she functioned like a robot. Numbers, documents, reports. Colleagues asked if she was okay. She smiled, nodded. Everything perfect. But inside, a plan was growing. In the evening, back home, she opened her laptop. Typed in the search bar, "Manipulation through illness, how to resist." She read several articles. Psychologists said the same thing. The manipulator exploits guilt, creates situations where refusing seems like cruelty. The only real defense is to set boundaries and not back down. Olivia closed the laptop. Boundaries. She had already set them once, at City Hall, and it worked. Now she had to do it again. Firmer, definitively. She took her phone and wrote Noah a long message. "Noah, I know you are going through a difficult time. You love your mother and don't want to make her suffer. But what is happening now is manipulation. Your mother uses illness to get you back, and you yield. I cannot live in a marriage where my husband lives with his mother and only comes to see me occasionally, so I'm setting conditions. Either you come home tonight or I continue my life alone, without you. Decide." She sent it, left the phone on the table. Her heart was pounding in her chest. It was a risk. Noah could get offended, get angry, even never return. But Olivia couldn't go on like this anymore. Either he chose now, or it was better to separate as soon as possible. The hour passed in silence. The phone remained mute. Olivia sat with a cup of cold tea, looking out the window. Outside, streetlights shone and the few passers-by hurried along the street. Life went on, while hers seemed stopped in an endless wait. At 8:30, the key turned in the lock. The door opened. On the threshold was Noah, pale, with wrinkled shirt and dark circles under his eyes. "I'm back," he said in a low voice. Olivia got up, walked to him, looked him directly in the eye. "For good?" "Yes." "For good? And your mother?" Noah took off his jacket, walked into the living room, and collapsed on the sofa. Olivia followed and sat next to him. "I told her I have a wife." Noah rubbed his face with his hands. "That I can't leave you and live with her. That if she feels bad she can call the doctor or 911. That I can visit her during the day, but at night I sleep in my house, with you." "And what did she say?" "At first she cried, then she screamed. Then she called me a traitor, said I was abandoning her to die alone. Then she cried again, and finally—" Noah stopped, looked at Olivia. Suddenly, she stopped, sat up, wiped her tears, and said, "Fine. Leave. If you chose her, go. But don't call me or visit me again. I don't have a son anymore." "And you left?" "Yes. It became clear to me. She's not sick. She's not that bad. She just wanted to get me back. And when she saw it didn't work, she calmed down in an instant. You know, in that moment, I saw her as if she were another person. Not the worried mother, but a woman trying to control me." Olivia took his hand. Noah squeezed her fingers. "I'm scared," he confessed. "I've done what she wanted all my life, and now I go against her. And I don't know if it's the right thing." "It is." Olivia leaned her head on his shoulder. "You chose your life, your family. That is the right thing." They stayed hugged in silence. Outside, the wind blew and the first drops of rain hit the glass. Olivia felt how Noah slowly relaxed, how the weight left his body. He had returned. He had chosen her. It was a victory. But she also understood Pamela wouldn't give up. That type of woman doesn't know how to lose. They retreat only to prepare the next attack. And sooner or later she would try again. But that would be later. Now, Olivia simply stayed next to her husband, took his hand and thought. They made it, together, and they would make it as many times as needed. Saturday morning, Olivia woke up first. Noah slept peacefully, finally without tension on his face. She got up slowly, went to the kitchen and put water to boil. Sunlight filtered through the window. The rain had stopped. The day promised to be clear. She took a cup of coffee and checked her phone. A text from Chloe. "How's everything going?" "Noah came back," Olivia replied. "Yes, he returned. Seems everything is okay now." "Good job, hang in there. If you need anything, I'm here." "Thanks." She put the phone down and approached the window. Below, in the playground, some kids were playing. Mothers chatted on benches. A normal Saturday morning. She heard steps behind. Noah entered the kitchen, yawning. He approached, hugged her from behind, and rested his chin on her shoulder. "Good morning," he murmured. "Good morning," she kissed him. "Did you sleep well?" "Yes, for the first time in days I slept for real." They had breakfast together. Noah was calm, even smiling, told an anecdote from work, made a couple of jokes. Olivia listened and thought, this is how it should be. Two people having breakfast, talking, planning the weekend, without dramas, without manipulations, without interference. "Olivia," Noah got serious suddenly. "Thanks." "For what?" "For not letting me sink, for giving me an ultimatum. If you hadn't done it, I would still be living between two fires, Mom on one side, you on the other, and I would have ended up losing you both." "You wouldn't have lost her," Olivia denied. "You just would have become unhappy, and me with you." "Maybe." Noah took her hand. "I'm going to try to be better, stronger. For us?" "I know." They spent the weekend together, walked in the park, watched movies, cooked. Noah didn't look at his phone every 5 minutes, didn't wait for calls from his mother. He was present, here, now, with Olivia. And she saw that finally, he was starting to live his own life. Monday morning, while Olivia was getting ready for work, the phone rang. Unknown number. "Yes." "Olivia?" The voice was a woman's, unfamiliar. "I'm Megan, Noah's sister." Olivia remembered her. At the wedding, she was a quiet woman with 2 kids, 5 years older than Noah. "Hi," replied Olivia cautiously. "Did something happen?" "No, all good. Just wanted to talk. Is Noah home?" "No, he already left for work." "I understand, then I'll talk to you." Megan kept silent for an instant. "I want to tell you that you did good." "In what?" "In what you said at City Hall, and in not letting Mom enter your condo. You did good. Noah has been under her control all his life. I tried to talk to him many times, but he wouldn't listen to me. You were able to do it, and I thank you." Olivia sat down slowly. "Thanks," she murmured. "I just wanted to stop her from controlling our lives." "And you did well. Mom is like that. She loves controlling everything. She controlled me too until I got married and moved to another city. With Noah, she tried the same, but he didn't have the strength to resist. Now you helped him, so thanks. Although, she is very angry." Megan laughed softly. Angry, but she'll get over it. Mom is strong. She's not used to losing, but when she understands the battle is lost, she knows how to retreat. The important thing is not letting her regain ground. I'll keep that in mind. If you need anything, call me. I'm on your side. They said goodbye. Olivia put the phone down and took a deep breath. So she wasn't alone. There was someone else in Noah's family who understood her. That comforted her. That same night, while they were having dinner, someone knocked on the door. They looked at each other. Noah got up and went to open it. Olivia stayed in the kitchen, listening. Mom? Noah's surprised voice. Olivia tensed up. She got up and went to the entrance. On the threshold was Pamela, in a light coat, a small purse. Her face calm, even tired, without a trace of the previous aggression. Hi, Noah, she said in a low voice. Hi, Olivia. Good evening, replied Olivia without approaching. Pamela kept silent for a moment and then continued. I came to apologize, to both of you. I behaved badly. I tried to control your life. I meddled where I shouldn't have. I am ashamed. Noah was bewildered. Olivia observed her mother-in-law, trying to read if it was sincerity or a new play. I don't ask you to forgive me immediately. Pamela took a keychain out of her purse. The old keys, the ones Olivia had returned to Noah. Here they are. They are yours. I won't try to enter again. I won't demand that Noah live with me. This is your life. I have understood. She extended the keys. Olivia took them. They were cold. Thank you, she said softly. I don't want to lose my son. Pamela looked at Noah. Her eyes were shiny but without tears. And I don't want there to be war between us. Can I visit you sometimes? Not much. Only when you invite me. And only if it doesn't bother Olivia. Noah looked at his wife. She saw hope in his eyes. He wanted them to get along. For there to be peace. Olivia nodded slowly. You can, but only by invitation. Agreed. Pamela nodded. Thanks. She turned to leave. Noah called her. Mom, wait. Do you want to come in for some tea? Pamela turned. A shy smile appeared on her face. If Olivia doesn't mind. Olivia looked at Noah, then at Pamela, and understood. It was an opportunity. Maybe the last one. Either she gave her the chance to change, or the door would remain closed forever. I don't mind, she said. Come in. The three sat in the kitchen, drank tea, ate cookies. The conversation was tense, with pauses, but without aggression. Pamela asked about work, about the family. Olivia answered briefly, but politely. Noah smiled, uncomfortable but happy. An hour later, Pamela stood up. Thanks for the tea. I'm leaving. Noah walked her to the door. Olivia heard them speaking in low voices. Then the door closed and he returned to the kitchen. He sat across from her and took her hands. Thanks, he whispered. You don't know how important this is to me. I know, smiled Olivia. But if she starts again? She won't start. I saw her eyes. She has understood. Olivia nodded. She wanted to believe it was true, that Pamela had understood, that this wasn't just a strategic retreat. Time would tell. They went to bed late. Noah hugged her, curled up against her. Olivia, in the darkness, listening to his calm breathing, thought, maybe everything will work out. Maybe they find a balance, her, Noah, and his mother. No wars, no manipulation. Just like a normal family. And a few months later, Olivia proved she was right. Pamela visited twice a month, called on Sundays, but stopped trying to run their lives. Noah blossomed, more secure and happy, finally living the life he chose, not the one imposed on him. This story might sound like fiction, but the battle for dignity within families is all too real. Sometimes drawing a hard line in the sand isn't an act of war, but the only way to build a lasting peace. Because true love respects boundaries, and dignity is the one thing you can never afford to compromise.